Let's discuss about the polling process. As we know, the first important point that you need to remember is this is for the purification of tin and copper. Okay. So by the polling process we basically purify tin and copper. First we'll see the purification of impure copper by polling process. Impure copper. Impure copper basically will contain a lots of impurities in that, and these impurities are namely sulfur, antimony, arsenic, iron, and copper 2 oxide. These are the impurities that are present in impure copper. Okay. Now what we do, the impure copper that is melted, we have to first melt it. Okay, the melting process has to be done, and this takes place in reverberatory furnace. It is in reverberatory furnace. Okay. Now this reverberatory furnace is lined with silica, that is SiO2. So reverberatory furnace is lined with the silica, and we add blast of oxygen gas. So hot O2 gas, we just put it into that reverberatory furnace. The oxygen will be oxidizing the impurity like sulfur, antimony, arsenic. Okay, and this will turn into volatile oxides. Like sulfur can turn into SO2, Sb2O3, H2O3. These are the volatile oxide, and that will be removed from the impure copper. Okay. Now the iron impurities, iron will react with the hot blast and will form FeO, and we know that it's a metal oxide, so it is basic in nature. FeO is basic in nature, and already the reverberatory furnace is lined with silica SiO2, and we know that silica SiO2 is acidic. Okay, so there will be a acid base reaction and it will form iron silicate FeSiO3, FeSiO3, and that is the slag. So this is the slag that we will obtain during the purification of impure copper. Okay. Now the molten metal that is left, that is the molten copper, as well as one more impurity, that is its oxide. These two are left, okay, in the melt only. FeSiO3 will be floating on this melt because of the lower density. Yeah, we know that the slag has lower density than the molten metal. Okay, now what we do, we put now powdered anthracite. We put powdered anthracite, that is very high carbon content in that, and then we stir it with the pole of green wood. So stirring with green pole of wood. Okay, so if we stir it with the green pole of wood, suppose this is the green pole of wood. Okay, this is the green pole of wood. The green pole of wood, okay, at that temperature, the temperature is high. Okay, so at high temperature this green pole of wood will liberate hydrocarbon, gas like methane. Okay, now what the methane will do, it will react with the copper 2 oxide, and methane will act as a reducing agent, will reduce the copper 2 oxide from +2 oxidation state to copper, and itself will get oxidized to CO2 and water. Okay, so this is overall reaction in which reduction of CuO is taking place and we are getting copper metal. So CuO is being converted to copper metal. Okay, now the final solution that we'll be getting, the molten copper will be left in the solution, and it will be approximately 99.5% pure. So purity up to 99.5% will be obtained by this polling process. Okay. In the case of tin, we have similar reactions. In this case of tin also we have similar reactions. So if we see the polling process of tin, we have impure tin. Impure tin basically contains impurities like SnO2, copper, iron, tungsten. Okay. Now, this impurity like SnO2 is due to the incomplete reduction of this tin stone during the smelting process, and we need to remove that impurity. How to remove that? Again, we just melt it and we use green pole of wood that will release hydrocarbon like methane and will reduce this, okay, to metal, that is tin, with evolution of CO2 and H2O vapors. So in the case of polling process for the tin, that is the purification of tin, we use again green pole of wood in the molten tin, okay, and that removes the SnO2 and convert this to Sn. Okay. Now, what happens to the impurities like copper, iron, tungsten? Okay. These forms oxides like impurities like copper, iron and tungsten. These forms oxides, and these oxide form basically a scum on the surface of pure tin metal. So if it is pure tin molten metal, then this oxide will be on the top of that, okay, and then you can remove this scum. This is basically the oxides of copper, iron and tungsten. You can remove it from the surface, and the tin that you will get, this tin will be around 99% pure. Okay, so that's all about the polling process for the purification of tin and copper. Thank you.